Before Madam C.J. Walker, there was Annie Turnbow Malone, the original black hair care millionaire. She built a hair care empire. She trained thousands of black women as entrepreneurs, and she paved the way for the beauty industry that we know today. But here's the kicker. Madam C.J. Walker stole her formula. Oh, and if that wasn't enough, Annie had to fight for her empire against her own husband. So let's talk about it. Annie Turnbow Malone was born on August 9, 1877 in Metropolis, Illinois, to formerly enslaved parents. Sadly, she lost both of them at a young age, but you know what? That didn't stop her. She had a love for chemistry and she began developing her own hair care products to help black women. Back then, many women were using goose fat, soap, bacon grease, or even heavy oils to straighten their curls, which damaged their scalp and their hair. Annie knew black women needed something better, so she developed the Wonderful Hair Grower, a scalp treatment that promoted healthy hair growth without damage. So she started selling it door to door, and soon her products were in high demand across the country. In 1910, she did something huge. She opened Poro College in St. Louis, Missouri. This wasn't just a beauty school. Poro College trained thousands of black women to become self-sufficient business owners in the beauty industry. And here's where the drama comes in. Madam C.J. Walker actually worked for Annie Turnbow Malone. That's right. Before she became Madam C.J. Walker, she was a sales agent for Poro College, learning everything she could about the hair care business. But then she left, she took Annie's formula, she rebranded, and she started her own company. Yes, Madam C.J. Walker stole Annie's product and marketed herself as the first black female millionaire, but in reality, it was Annie who did it first. As if losing credit for her formula wasn't enough, Annie had to fight for her business against her own husband. Her business thrived until 1927 when her husband, who had served as the president of the company, filed for divorce. And get this, he demanded half of her business, claiming that his contributions were integral to her success. The lawsuit forced Poro College into court-ordered receivership, meaning the business was at the risk of being taken away from her. But Annie didn't back down. With the support of her employees and powerful figures like Mary McLeod Bethune, she fought back and she negotiated $200,000, a settlement that affirmed her as a sole owner of Poro College. She won the case, she finalized the divorce, and she kept her business. Now talk about a boss move. But Annie wasn't just about making money. She was about giving back. Even though she was extremely wealthy, she lived modestly and she gave thousands of dollars to support black communities. She was a major donor to local black YMCA and even funded Howard University College of Medicine in Washington, D.C. Now, despite facing legal battles and losing control of her empire later in life, she remained dedicated to helping others. She never had children, but she made sure that her legacy lived on. She bequeathed her business and remaining fortune to her nieces and nephews, and at the time of her death in 1957, her estate was still valued at $100,000, which was a lot back then. Annie Turnbow Malone was the real OG of black hair care, and she deserves her credit. Now, if you learned anything new, drop a thumbs up in the comments and tag somebody who needs to know the truth about this hidden black history gem.